Hi everyone. So today we're going to look at how to forecast using the Power BI. Forecasting with the Power BI, right? Remember that we talked about, or we once talked about the type of analysis, right, in data analysis: the descriptive analysis, the diagnostic analysis, the prescriptive analysis, and the predictive analysis. And we said that the first two, um, diagnostic and descriptive, are activities of data analysts. Those are what data analysts will do. Then the last two, predictive and prescriptive, are what data scientists will do. So there are quite a large difference between both of them, right? And it's because the predictive, right, which forecasting is part of it, is it has to do with it's an activity of machine learning. You need a good understanding of machine learning to perform it, right? And then tools like Python, R language, are very needed, but it doesn't mean that um you cannot forecast using Power BI. No, right? No. So I'm going to show you how to forecast, with the Power BI. Now, few things to understand before we go straight to um to the feature on the Power BI, is to understand that forecasting is a time series analysis. That is the first thing that we need to understand, right? It's a time series analysis. Forecasting actually means that trying to look at the future from the present, right? For example, we have these analysis on the screen that explain the sales performance report for a particular organizations, and we can see that um, from the data sets, from what the sales performance has been in the past years, the total sales achieved in that organization is 9 million, right? And the total profit is 5.07 million, right? So, and now we want to look at what the total sales will now be in days after now, right? For example, maybe there are 30 days in a month, right? So let's say 7 days after now, what would be the total sales? We know that the total sales as at now is 9 million, but after now, 7 days after now, based on the performances so far, what will be the total? That is using the data to know what your performance will be in the future, so that you can make specific decisions. And these are beauties of data analysis, right? Now, there are four ways to do this in Power BI. Four ways to do this in Power BI. So, which means that it's very possible, right? Not just one way. There are four ways, but we'll be mounting pressure on just one of them. But just to list the other ones, you can um, run forecasts um, by using your DAX feature, right? So you just run the DAX. In the DAX, this area is called the DAX model, right? So you just run the DAX view rather. So you just run your DAX query on the DAX view, and then your forecast will be fine, right? We are not looking at that today. You can run your forecast using the Power Query. So you go to the Power Query editor and you type the command, right, in the the Power Query use the M language. We all know that. So you run the command, you run the language, the command on it, and it is done, right? The third method is the general one. Go and use the Python or the R language, right? This is what most people do. But then what we're going to talk about today is to use the inbuilt forecast feature, right, in Power BI. And I haven't said that we understand that from what I've said so far, forecast is a predictive analysis, and it is a time series, right? Time series in the sense that it is built on time. And then the understanding that we should have known before now, or we should know, maybe some of us are just knowing that, is that if you're going to run anything that has to do with time series analysis in statistics or in data analysis, right, the appropriate visual to use is the line chart, right? So if you are not using line chart, you will not be able to run forecasts in statistics, in data analysis, right? So because what happened in the future is shown on the line chart. It's shown on the line chart. So line chart becomes our concern, right? So if you're going to be using it, if you're using another visual, you will not be able to run your focus, right? So we're going to be looking at the line chart. So look at data so far, right? So we want to see, we have run some measures before now, and then we have our total sales, right? Just pardon the performance of my system. All right. So we have the total sales here. So I'm going to check the total sales, right? I'm going to check the total sales. Then I'm going to check the date, right? I'm going to check the date under the date column, date hierarchy, and I'm going to pick day, right? So yes. Now to make it work, right? One of the things that you should pay attention to is that look at the x-axis here. The x-axis is showing the day, right? It is a time series analysis, and the time feature in it must be on the x-axis. The time feature, the x-axis must contain the continuous date and time. So that's why we must have day, what is representing the time, maybe year, maybe month. We must have it on the x-axis. Then the value, the numerical analytics can then be on the y-axis. For example, the total sales is the numerical analytics, right? In this case, right? So we have y-axis, we have the total sales on the y-axis. Now we should also note that forecasting will be impossible if we have multiple series on the x-axis. Maybe you're going to be considering day and considering quarter in just one analytics, right? You would not be able to run forecast. So you need to keep it simple, right, for forecasting to work, right? So I have just my day on the x-axis, and I have my y on the y-axis, and then because we said that it should be a time series analysis, so I'm going to pick my line chart, right? All right, my line chart, and then I have it here. I'm going to have it being shown here. All right, I'm just going to make it bigger. All right, so I have my total sales per day, right, represented on the line chart, right? This is not forecasting yet. This is just analyzing the total sales per day. Now, for us to forecast, right, we have ensured that all the criteria mentioned are being satisfied, right? It is a line chart. The time point is on the x-axis, right? So what I will do now is to go to the analysis pane. In the visual, under the visual pane, there is a button called the analytics pane, right? And that is this button having this icon that looks like a search button, right? You're going to click it, and once you click it, just scroll down. If you scroll down, you will see the forecast feature somewhere here, right? This is the forecast feature. We're going to put it on, right? I will put it on, then I will drag it down to see the options under it, right? So the options are going to be listed here. Okay, I've not done that. All right, that is done. And already, if you look at my screen, you will see that something is changing and is already showing the forecasting area, right? But then I'm going to drag it down to see uh, what is happening to it, right? All right. So yeah, so these are the options under it. Now, just to quickly put a better understanding to it, we need to understand when making forecasting, right? some things are very important. Stuff like the length of focus, right? Of course, I'm focusing in this, so I want to see the length of focus is asking you, what is how long do you want to get that precision? For example, I'm analyzing days, right? And I want to know what will be my total sales in the next 7 days. So the forecasting length now in this case is 7, right? Right. So it is 7, and I'm going to keep it on 7. And this is very important. Maybe these are not important for now, so I'm going to leave it. But then I'm doing it because I need to keep this class, this explanation within the time frame. And the next thing that is very important to me is the confidence interval or the confidence level, right? And we need to take care of this appropriately. Now, the confidence level must be touched. Confidence level tells you what confidence, what level of precision you would have from this decision that you want to make, from the value that Power BI is going to give you, right? Why should we put a confidence level? Why is it important? Of course, it helps to measure forecast reliability, so it helps to know how reliable your analysis is going to be, right? The confidence level can range from, if I scroll down, we're going to see um the various confidence levels. Mind you, it is written confidence interval, but then the percentage is showing, it means, it is showing in percentage, and when it is showing in percentage, that means confidence level, right? And there's 75% confidence level, 80% confidence level. So all of this, the confidence level will then determine what the confidence interval will be. The confidence interval is 2 points, the lower bound and the upper bound, right? Which is going to tell us, it's going to give an allowances of 2 points, the lower point and the higher point, to say that I am certain that the what your total sales after 7 days will be. I'm certain that it is within this limit. You understand? So the bigger, the larger the confidence interval. For example, if I pick 99% confidence level, rather, the larger the confidence level, right, the wider the confidence interval. So if I pick 99%, it's going to give me a wider range and ensure that my total sales within 7 days is certainly within the range, within the period, within the limits, that the lower limit and the upper limit that it has given me. If I pick a lower confidence level, like 80% confidence level, it means that the confidence interval will be slimmer, right? And my actual point and my actual figure, total sales, is within that smaller confidence interval. Now, what does it mean? It means that if I have a lower confidence level, right, I will get more precision with a lower confidence level. So if it is 80%, for example, because it's now giving me a closed limit, then I'm likely to have a more, right? So this is my forecast result in A, right? And when you look at it after 7 days, 7 days is because there are 30 days, right? There are 31 days in the month. Now after the next, okay, it works for the next 10 days. I think I picked the next 10 days, and it's already showing me that my forecast is 1.123. So in the next 7 days, my total sales will increase by 1.4 million, right? That's what it's saying, and it's giving me two limits. I have the upper bound and the lower bound to say that it's going to be within those period of time. So this is how to run forecasting with your Power BI. So things to note are the forecast length, right, and the confidence interval, right? So the confidence interval actually just give us the range of the limits that the focus point is going to fall into, and the more the lower the confidence limit and the confidence interval, sorry, the lower the confidence level, right, the more precision would have at the end of the day. I hope I'm going to run more videos after now on this for better clarity. But then I hope this